getting into longboarding or you've been longboarding, you probably know that sliding is something you're going to want to learn. And if you're learning sliding, you probably also want a slide glove. And they come in a bunch of different forms. You can buy them, you can make one, you can use a knee pad duct taped to your hand. J-Rock, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. So today we're actually going to be talking about how to make your own slide glove. So, well, I have to sneeze. Pretty easy to make. So let's get started. First, let's talk about materials. For this build, you are going to need a couple of things. You're going to need some sort of glove. I have a gardening glove. You can also use a work glove. You're going to need hot glue sticks, cutting board, some sort of saw, heat gun, or a blowtorch, and a clamp. And you can also use a marker if you want one in order to draw the pucks. And some other assorted materials, but these are the main ones. And so yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put whatever glove you're using. We're going to use the Flower Power Bees and Butterflies glove because, you know, we're that cool. But you're going to take whatever glove you're using and you're going to want to put it on your hand so you can kind of get a feel for how you're going to want to do it. Now there's a bunch of different slide gloves. There's like the E.T. Star Trek slide glove where like your fingers are split. There's the Mega Puck slide glove where it's just all one thing, but I wouldn't recommend that. Just glue this on there. And then there's like the 3-puck slide glove, which we're going to be going over today. Now you're going to want to kind of visualize how you're going to want your puck. So our 3-puck design looks something like this. So there's the top puck. I don't know why I'm still wearing this. There's the top puck to protect your fingers, and it is one whole piece so they don't split, so you can't break anything. There's the forehand, like your forehand, I don't know, palm puck.
Palm. Yeah.
Palm. So, and you can actually make this more round. I just went with a hexagon sort of shape just to kind of make it easier to cut. And then there's the thumb puck. And this one actually you don't need too much. You really only need the end part. Alright, so let's get started measuring out the puck. So put the glove back on your hand and just kind of take the cutting board and spot it out, like kind of set it on there and just kind of pick something that you think would be a good size. So I'm going to kind of draw, like, get rid of this corner maybe to about here, to about here. That doesn't look too bad. Not too big, not too small. Comparing it to the other puck that I have, it looks to be a similar size. So now just to do the hand puck, and I actually already have one of these cut out so you can see a good size. It's just really experimentation. And then lastly, the thumb puck. So I like to just grip onto it and just kind of trace out and then go a little bit narrower in each way. And now let's start cutting it. So now you're going to need to clamp down your piece of cutting board so it doesn't slip, because that's not fun when it slips. And just start cutting it. So I have a pole saw, a hack saw, whatever kind of saw you want. It doesn't really matter. You have to push with the...
No, but like
Alright, so now we have our final pieces. So they're just square, but we actually have a good trick on how to round them out. Don't bother cutting the corners with the saw because it'll just give you a big headache. We're actually going to take them out on the concrete and round the corners out. So let's go do that now. So yeah, now we're going to round out the edges. Just kind of get going, and it really doesn't matter if you scrape them because these things are going to be scraped and that's their purpose. Just going. All right, so now you can see the edges are nice and rounded, which will kind of give you a smooth slide. You won't get hung up on anything. All right, so the next step is going to be actually attaching the pucks to the glove. To do this, you're going to need glue sticks and a heat gun. Open up bag of glue sticks. No hot glue gun required. Pull out a couple of them. And you're going to need to think about how you want your glove. So I'm going to put the glove back on my hand again and just kind of make a layout of the way the pucks are going to work. So I have this one here, this one here, and the thumb guy. All right, I like that. Sounds good. And so now I'm just going to take them off, put this off, and you're going to cut your glue sticks up so that they fit right onto where your fingers go. Okay, so once you're done with that, you just take your glue sticks and kind of put them onto your glove and make sure that they are indeed the right size, because this will really mess you up if they're not. So yeah, looks good, looks good. All right, now let's get started attaching the pucks. All right, so a really key thing to keep in mind when you're actually going to glue the pucks onto the glove, and obviously if you haven't figured out, we're gonna melt these onto here and then stick it on, is that the back of your puck needs to be really rough. So even though this is cut up, I'm actually gonna take the scissors and just kind of score it a little bit. Next step, do this one at a time, because it's really easy to get yourself in too deep. Take your glove, take your puck, just one puck, grab the heat gun, and start heating up these strips of glue sticks. And be kind of careful, don't burn yourself, and kind of just heat them on until you can press them on there. So it's gonna stop moving. Ah, it stuck to me. That's what you don't wanna do. So, and just heat them up a little bit, kind of set it on there. And you're gonna want 4 on the puck that protects your fingers. Just take it, they're gonna be kind of stuck on there, and just heat them until they're pretty much all the way melted. And you'll know, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit so you can hear a little bit better. You'll know when they're all the way melted because it'll just be like, you'll be able to see straight through them. They're kind of translucent at the beginning, and then they get really melty and fluid. All right, this is the part where you have to have some big cojones to do. Put the glove on your hand. I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit. If you'll see, it's really melted. These are really hot, really ready to go. So take it and just spread the glue with your fingers and then push it down real hard. Press it as tight as you can. And then after a little bit, you can carefully slide your hand out and then just keep pressing it onto the table. But that ensures that none of your fingers are gonna be like going crazy directions or anything. And now, oops, I kind of glued it to the table a little bit. You just do the rest of them. So I'm not gonna. And make sure when you do the palm puck that your thumb can still wiggle and you can still pinch up and down. So you're gonna have some room for adjustment. Just get it, you can pinch up and down, push it real good. As soon as you think it's had enough time, you can push it down. Stick your thumb puck on, and you're gonna want some motion also, so just make sure that you have enough motion there. Feels good. Kind of maybe test it out by pushing against the table and seeing how you feel. So as tempted as you may be to use this, it's actually still really gooey, and the pucks will just fall off, they'll rip off, you'll have problems. So the very last step, surprisingly enough, as silly as this may sound, is to actually take your slide glove off, or if it's already off, and put it in the fridge where no one's going to disturb it. And there it is. Put it in the fridge for a half an hour. Alright, so it's been a half an hour. Let's pull our glove out of the fridge, and here it is. It looks really brand new right now, but all it's gonna take is a couple of times sliding it out to really make it, you know, break it in. And really, I'd say the more torn up your glove is, the better, because you know you've been using it to its full potential. So there it is, really comfortable, really sturdy. I've had my other glove similar to this for almost a year, probably more than a year, and it's still going hard. So, you know, obviously the guys you're longboarding with are gonna think it's super cool since you have the butterflies and the flowers and it's bright pink. And sky's the limit, man. Slide it up. So, peace.